The massive viewing window of Luna Base stretched before Captain James Miller, offering a breathtaking view of Earth, hanging like a blue jewel in the darkness of space. His weathered hands clasped behind his back, steel-gray eyes fixed on the construction dock that would soon hold humanity's greatest achievement. "Captain, the final reports are ready for your review," said Lieutenant Anna West, stepping quietly beside him. She held a digital tablet, its screen glowing with countless technical specifications. Miller nodded, his expression remaining stern. 25 years of service in Earth's Space Force had taught him that moments like these, moments that changed history, demanded complete focus. The year was 2145, and humanity was about to take its biggest gamble yet. "How are the engineers holding up?" he asked, taking the tablet without shifting his gaze from the window. "Chief Hayes says they're working around the clock. The outer hull is nearly complete, and the core systems are being installed as we speak." Anna's voice carried a hint of excitement she couldn't quite suppress. Beyond the reinforced glass, construction drones swarmed like fireflies around the skeletal framework of what would become Earth's first true Stardestroyer. The Thunder of Terra, they called it. Unlike the graceful, sleek designs favored by other spacefaring races, this ship bore the unmistakable mark of human engineering. Practical, robust, and hiding its true nature beneath layers of innovation. The project had started 3 years ago, after Earth's first encounters with hostile alien civilizations. The galaxy, they had learned, was not the peaceful frontier of human dreams. It was a complex web of alliances, ancient grudges, and power plays. Smaller civilizations paid tribute to stronger ones, and humanity's position was becoming increasingly precarious. Miller remembered the day Admiral Reed had called him to Earth Force Command. "They think we're primitive," the Admiral had said, sliding a folder across his desk. "Let's use that to our advantage." The Thunder of Terra was humanity's answer to the galaxy's bullies. While alien civilizations focused on plasma weapons and antimatter drives, Earth's scientists had quietly developed something different. They had taken basic physics principles and pushed them to their absolute limits, creating systems that no alien race had thought to explore. A deep rumble shook the observation deck, making the reinforced windows vibrate. Miller watched as another massive hull plate was moved into position by the construction drones. The ship's size alone was unprecedented for Earth, over 3 kilometers long. But its true power lay in its revolutionary systems. "Chief Hayes reports the gravity manipulation system is online," Anna said, checking her communicator. "All tests are green." Miller allowed himself a small smile. The gravity manipulation system was just one of their breakthrough technologies. While other races used brute force to move their massive ships, Thunder of Terra would ride waves of manipulated space-time itself. Its weapon systems didn't rely on exotic particles or antimatter. They weaponized fundamental forces in ways that alien sensors wouldn't even recognize as weapons until it was too late. "Any word from our observers in the Centauri sector?" Miller asked, finally turning from the window. Anna's expression darkened. "The Crimson Dominion is expanding their patrols. Intelligence suggests they're testing our response capabilities." "Then we better not give them anything to find. Yet." Miller handed back the tablet. "Tell the construction teams to maintain emission control. As far as anyone watching is concerned, we're building a large cargo vessel." The deception was crucial. Earth's scientists had discovered that most alien civilizations had developed along similar technological paths, leading them to expect certain signatures from advanced technology. Thunder of Terra purposefully avoided those signatures, appearing primitive while housing systems that would revolutionize space warfare. As Miller watched another hull plate slide into place, he felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Soon, this ship would carry humanity's hopes among the stars. Its success or failure would determine Earth's place in the galaxy. "One more thing, Captain," Anna said, heading for the door. "Engineering wants to know what color to paint it." Miller's stern expression finally cracked into a genuine smile. "Battleship gray, Lieutenant. Some classics never go out of style. The thunder of Terra continued to take shape against the starlit void, its true nature hidden beneath layers of steel and innovation, waiting for the day it would show the galaxy that humanity was not to be underestimated. Thunder of Terra glided silently through the depths of space, its massive form hidden under clever engineering and stealth systems. The bridge crew worked quietly at their stations, maintaining the illusion that they were just another oversized cargo hauler making its way through the trade routes. Captain Miller stood at his command station, watching the holographic display that showed their surroundings. 3 months had passed since they left Earth's solar system, and so far, their deception had worked perfectly. Other ships passed them without a second glance, their sensors detecting nothing more than a large, slow-moving transport vessel. "Captain," called out the sensor operator, "I'm picking up distress signals from the Orion trading post. Multiple signatures." Miller straightened. "Show me." The main screen lit up with a tactical display. The Orion trading post was a neutral station where various alien species conducted business. Right now, it was under attack by 5 warships. Their aggressive red markers circled the station like hungry sharks. Crimson Dominion vessels confirmed. Lieutenant Anna West reported from her intelligence station. 3 destroyers and 2 heavy cruisers. They're firing on civilian ships trying to escape. Miller's jaw tightened. The Crimson Dominion. Aggressive, expansionist, and exactly the kind of bully's Thunder of Terra was built to stand up against. But revealing themselves now would blow their cover completely. "Sir," Anna's voice was urgent, "there's a refugee ship leaving the station. Mostly children and elderly. One of the Dominion cruisers is moving to intercept." The bridge fell silent. Everyone knew what the Crimson Dominion did to civilian vessels that resisted their authority. Their reputation for cruelty was legendary. Chief Engineer Hayes spoke up from his station. "All systems are green, Captain. If we're going to pick a fight, we couldn't ask for better conditions." Miller watched as the refugee ship tried desperately to escape. Its engines were failing, and the Crimson Dominion cruiser was closing in for the kill. He thought about his orders: maintain secrecy, avoid engagement, complete the shakedown cruise without revealing their true nature. Then he thought about what Thunder of Terra really stood for. "Battle stations," he said quietly. The bridge erupted into activity as red alert lights pulsed. "Helm, put us between that cruiser and the refugee ship. Engineering, power up the gravity drive but keep it looking conventional. Weapons, ready all systems but maintain lockdown until my mark." The massive Earth vessel moved with surprising grace, its true nature still hidden as it positioned itself to shield the smaller refugee ship. "Incoming transmission from the Crimson Dominion cruiser," communications reported. "On screen," Miller ordered. A purple-skinned alien commander appeared, his expression contemptuous. "Human cargo vessel, remove yourself from our enforcement action or be destroyed. Your primitive ship is no match for Dominion weapons." Miller stood tall, his voice calm. "This is Captain James Miller. You are attacking innocent civilians in neutral space. Stand down your weapons and withdraw." The alien commander laughed, showing sharp teeth. "A human dares to give orders to the Dominion. Your species is barely out of its gravity well. That oversized cargo hauler of yours wouldn't last 10 seconds against our weakest ship. Last warning," Miller said. "Withdraw. Fire on that human joke of a ship." The commander ordered his crew. "Show them what real space warfare looks like." The Crimson Dominion cruiser's weapons blazed to life, sending destructive energy beams toward Thunder of Terra. They expected the human ship to break apart under their first salvo. Instead, the energy beams hit an invisible wall 2 kilometers from Thunder of Terra's hull and simply stopped. "Gravity shield holding at 100%, Hayes reported with a grin. "They literally don't know what they're looking at, sir. Their sensors are going crazy trying to figure out what just happened." Miller allowed himself a small smile. "Well then, let's give them their first lesson about underestimating humanity. Weapons, disengage lockdown. Show them what Thunder of Terra can really do." The massive ship's outer hull began to shift, panels sliding away to reveal weapon systems unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was time to show the Crimson Dominion why it was a mistake to judge humanity by appearances alone. The bridge of the Crimson Dominion cruiser fell silent as they watched Thunder of Terra transform. The human vessel's seemingly simple hull plates shifted and realigned, revealing rows of weapon ports that their sensors hadn't detected. But more shocking was how the massive ship moved. It turned with the agility of a vessel a tenth its size. "Impossible," the alien commander whispered, his purple skin paling. "No ship that large can move like that." On Thunder of Terra's bridge, Captain Miller gave his first real combat order. "Target their weapon systems only. Let's show them how humans fight." Chief Hayes' fingers danced across his console. "Gravity Lance system online, sir. Ready to rewrite their understanding of physics." The massive Earth ship's first attack didn't come as a beam, explosion, or projectile. Instead, an invisible wave of distorted space-time rolled out from Thunder of Terra. When it hit the Crimson Dominion cruiser, the larger alien vessel suddenly found itself fighting against a localized gravity field 1,000 times stronger than normal. Its hull groaned and weapons array crumpled inward, crushed by forces its designers had never imagined possible. "By the void," the alien commander shouted. "All ships, focus fire on that human vessel. Full power to weapons." The remaining 4 Dominion ships turned their attention to Thunder of Terra, unleashing a barrage of energy weapons and torpedoes. The space between the ships lit up like a new sun. But Miller had been waiting for this. Activate the mirror shield. Another of humanity's hidden innovations sprang to life. The incoming energy weapons hit Thunder of Terra's gravitational defense field and didn't just stop. They reversed course. The Dominion ships found themselves under attack from their own weapons. 2 enemy destroyers have lost shields, Anna reported, trying to keep the excitement from her voice. "The remaining cruiser is attempting to flank us." Miller nodded. "Time to show them our main weapon. Target the cruiser's engines. Fire the Einstein Lance." At the front of Thunder of Terra, panels slid apart to reveal what looked like a simple focusing array. But what it focused wasn't energy or matter. It focused probability itself. The weapon fired, and for a brief moment, space between Thunder of Terra and the Crimson Dominion cruiser became a mathematical impossibility. When reality reasserted itself, the cruiser's engine section simply ceased to exist, as if it had never been there at all. The massive alien ship drifted powerless, its crew unable to comprehend what had just happened. "Remaining destroyers are breaking formation," Anna announced. "They're trying to run." "Let them go," Miller ordered. "But first, give them something to remember us by." Thunder of Terra's gravity drive pulsed, and the massive ship literally surfed a wave of distorted spacetime, crossing kilometers in seconds. It positioned itself in front of the fleeing destroyers, its size finally serving its intended purpose, pure intimidation. "Open a channel to all Dominion ships," Miller commanded. The view screen showed the faces of multiple alien commanders, their expressions a mix of fear and disbelief. "This is Captain James Miller of the Thunder of Terra. What you've witnessed today is only a fraction of what humanity is capable of. We built this ship not for conquest, but to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Remember that the next time you think about attacking civilians." The Dominion ships retreated, their once proud formation now a scrambling retreat. Around Thunder of Terra, the refugee ships and trading post survivors began emerging from hiding, their communications channels full of chatter about the human ship that had done the impossible. "Damage report?" Miller asked, finally allowing himself to relax slightly. "Sir," Hayes reported with a grin. "They didn't even scratch the paint." The bridge crew allowed themselves a moment of celebration, but Miller kept his eyes on the tactical display. He knew that what had just happened would send shockwaves through the galaxy. Humanity's secret was out. They weren't the primitive species everyone thought they were. "Send a message to Earth Command," he ordered. Tell them the galaxy just got a lot more interesting." As Thunder of Terra moved to help the damaged civilian ships, its true form now visible for all to see, the story of its victory was already spreading across subspace communications. The age of humanity hiding its true capabilities was over. The galaxy would never be the same. News traveled faster than light across the galaxy. Within hours of Thunder of Terra's victory over the Crimson Dominion fleet, every major civilization was buzzing with recordings of the battle. The massive human vessel had become the most discussed topic in every spaceport, diplomatic chamber, and alien news broadcast. In the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, emergency alarms rang for the first time in 50 years. Representatives from 200 species rushed to their seats, their voices a mix of concern and excitement. Meanwhile, aboard Thunder of Terra, Captain Miller watched the chaos unfold through incoming data streams. Lieutenant Anna West stood beside him, sorting through the flood of reactions. "Sir, you might want to see this," she said, bringing up a holographic display. "The Crimson Dominion's home fleet is in complete disarray. They're recalling ships from every sector, trying to figure out if we have more vessels like Thunder of Terra hidden somewhere." Miller allowed himself a small smile. "And the other powers? The Star Empire is mobilizing their science division. They're trying to understand how our weapons work. The Federation of Free Worlds is calling for immediate diplomatic talks." And she paused, checking another report. At least 30 smaller civilizations have already sent requests for protection agreements with Earth. The captain nodded, watching as more messages poured in. Earth's carefully planned reveal was having an even bigger impact than expected. On one screen, alien scientists argued about Thunder of Terra's gravity manipulation technology. On another, military experts tried to explain how a single ship had defeated 5 Crimson Dominion vessels without taking damage. Message from Admiral Reed: "Sir," communications announced. "Earth Force Command is getting swamped with diplomatic requests. They want us to maintain our current position and prepare for possible inspection visits from alien delegations." "Wonderful," Miller muttered. "Tell engineering to make the ship presentable, but keep our core systems sealed. We'll show them our public areas only." Chief Hayes' voice came over the intercom, sounding amused. "Already on it, Captain. Though I doubt they'll understand what they're looking at even if we showed them everything. Our approach is too simple for them to believe." That was the beauty of Thunder of Terra's design. While alien civilizations had pursued increasingly exotic technologies, humanity had gone back to basics, pushing fundamental physics to its limits. The ship's primitive appearance had hidden innovations that now threatened to reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. "Sir," Anna interrupted, her expression serious. "The Galactic Council session is about to begin. They're discussing us." The main screen switched to a feed from the council chambers. Hundreds of alien representatives filled the circular hall, their species representing every form of life imaginable. At the center, a tall crystalline being called for order. "The emergence of this human vessel represents an unprecedented situation." The council leader's translated voice rang out. "A species we considered primitive has demonstrated technology that surpasses our understanding. The question before us is, how do we respond?" The chamber erupted in voices. Some called for immediate sanctions against Earth, fearing human expansion. Others demanded access to Thunder of Terra's technology, claiming it was too dangerous for one species to control. "Look at them," Miller said quietly to his crew. "Yesterday they ignored us. Today they're afraid we'll conquer the galaxy." He shook his head. "If they only understood that all we wanted was to be left in peace." A new alert flashed across their screens. The Crimson Dominion's representative was speaking to the council, his voice shaking with barely controlled rage. "These humans deceived us all. They hid their true capabilities. Who knows what other weapons they've developed in secret? I demand immediate action to contain this threat." As the council descended into heated debate, Thunder of Terra's crew continued their work, maintaining their position near the Orient trading post. They had become the center of a diplomatic storm that would reshape galactic politics forever. "Orders, sir," Anna asked as more demands for inspection and explanation flooded their communications. Miller straightened his uniform. "Now comes the hard part, Lieutenant. We showed them our strength. Time to show them our wisdom." Lieutenant Anna West sat in her small office aboard Thunder of Terra, surrounded by holographic displays showing intercepted alien communications, while the galaxy argued about humanity's sudden rise to power. Something about the Crimson Dominion's attack hadn't felt right to her. Their ships had been too ready, too perfectly positioned. "Computer, show me all Dominion fleet movements from the past 6 months," she commanded. The displays shifted, showing hundreds of ship paths across the galaxy. Her eyes narrowed as patterns began to emerge. The Dominion hadn't just happened to be near the Orion trading post. They had been systematically testing Earth's response times, probing their defenses, and gathering data. The door chimed. "Enter," she called out, not taking her eyes off the displays. Chief Engineer Hayes walked in, carrying 2 cups of coffee. "Thought you could use this. You've been in here for 18 hours straight." "Look at this," Anna said, accepting the coffee. "The Dominion's patrol patterns. They've been circling closer to Earth for months, always just outside our normal detection range." Hayes studied the display. "That's not random movement." "No," Anna agreed. "Computer, overlay their fleet positions with known human trade routes." The holographic map updated, and now the pattern was impossible to miss. The Dominion had been systematically cutting off Earth's possible escape routes, positioning their forces to block any attempt at evacuation or reinforcement. "They were planning an invasion," Hayes whispered. "The trading post attack was a test," Anna finished. "They wanted to see how Earth would respond to a crisis just outside our space. They expected us to either ignore it or send normal patrol ships." She brought up another display. "Look at their fleet compositions. They have invasion forces ready in 3 different sectors." Hayes set down his coffee. "We need to tell the captain." Minutes later, they stood in Captain Miller's ready room, presenting their findings. The captain's face grew darker with each new piece of evidence. "And you're certain about this?" Miller asked, studying the fleet movements. "Yes, sir," Anna replied. The Dominion wasn't just bullying a trading post. They were preparing for a full-scale invasion of Earth. Their intelligence suggested we were defenseless against their technology. They had no idea about Thunder of Terra. Miller walked to his window, watching the stars. "So when we revealed our true capabilities, we accidentally stopped an invasion," Hayes finished. "Our appearance scared them so badly, they pulled back their entire attack force." The captain turned back to them. "This changes everything. The Dominion's representative at the Council, their demands for sanctions against Earth, they're not afraid we'll conquer them. They're afraid we'll expose their plans." Anna nodded. "If the Council learns they were planning to invade a developing civilization, they'd lose their council seat," Miller said. "Maybe even face sanctions themselves." He tapped his command console. "Bridge, get me a secure channel to Earth Command. Priority 1. As they waited for the connection, Anna brought up more data. "Sir, there's something else. Other species were involved. Look at these supply shipments, these diplomatic meetings. At least 3 other council races knew about the invasion plans." The implications were staggering. The Crimson Dominion's attack hadn't just revealed humanity's hidden strength. It had exposed a conspiracy that went to the heart of galactic politics. "Lieutenant West," Miller said quietly, "I want you to gather every piece of evidence you can find. Chief Hayes, help her. We need to build an ironclad case." "What are you planning, sir?" Hayes asked. Miller's expression was grim but determined. "The Dominion wants to paint us as the threat to galactic peace." "Fine. Let's show the Council who the real threats are." As Anna and Hayes left to continue their investigation, they could feel the weight of what they'd discovered. Thunder of Terra hadn't just saved Earth by showing its strength. It had exposed a plot that could reshape the entire galaxy. "One more thing," Miller called after them. "Keep this quiet for now. If the Dominion realizes we know their secret, they might decide they have nothing left to lose." Anna finished. The three humans shared a look of understanding. The real battle was just beginning. The Grand Council chamber buzzed with tension as Thunder of Terra hung in orbit above, its massive form visible through the chamber's transparent dome. Below, representatives from 200 species argued about humanity's place in the galaxy. Captain Miller stood at the speaker's podium, wearing his formal Earth Force uniform. Lieutenant Anna West and Chief Hayes sat behind him, ready with their evidence. The captain looked calm, but inside he felt the weight of Earth's future on his shoulders. The human vessel must be inspected. The Crimson Dominion's representative shouted, his purple skin dark with anger. Their technology is too dangerous to remain unchecked. Miller waited for the noise to die down. "We are happy to discuss technology sharing," he said calmly, "right after we discuss the Dominion's recent fleet movements near Earth space." The chamber grew quiet. Anna activated a holographic display showing ship movements across the galaxy. Red dots marked Dominion warships, slowly surrounding Earth's territory over the past 6 months. "What is this?" the council leader asked, crystalline form glowing with interest. "Evidence," Miller replied. "The Crimson Dominion calls us a threat to peace, but these records show they were preparing to invade Earth. They expected us to be defenseless." Chaos erupted in the chamber. The Dominion representative jumped to his feet. "Lies. We were conducting normal patrols." "Normal patrols don't include invasion fleets," Anna spoke up, highlighting specific ship clusters, or secret meetings with weapons suppliers, or plans for planetary occupation. More holograms appeared, showing intercepted communications and fleet compositions. The council chamber filled with shocked whispers as the evidence mounted. "And they weren't working alone," Chief Hayes added, bringing up new data. 3 other council races helped plan the invasion. They're in this chamber right now. The accused species representatives shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The council leader's crystal body pulsed with deep colors, a sign of distress in their species. "These are serious accusations," the leader said. "If true, they violate our most sacred laws about protecting developing civilizations." Miller nodded. "We have proof of everything. But Earth doesn't seek punishment. We want peace." He pressed a button, and the hologram changed to show Thunder of Terra's public specifications. "Our ship wasn't built for conquest. We created it because we knew someday we'd need to defend ourselves. Today proves we were right." The Dominion representative snarled. "You hide your weapons, build secret technology, and dare to lecture us about peace. We hid our capabilities because of threats like you," Miller replied firmly. "Earth wants to join the galactic community as equals, not conquerors or victims. Thunder of Terra proves we can defend ourselves, but we'd rather be friends than enemies." A new voice spoke up, the representative of the Federation of Free Worlds, one of the galaxy's oldest democracies. Perhaps the humans have the right idea. They built one ship, not a fleet. They used it to protect others, not just themselves. And they're here talking instead of threatening. Support began to build among the smaller powers. Many of them had faced bullying from larger species before. They saw Earth as a potential protector. The council leader raised their crystalline arms for silence. "We need time to verify this evidence, but Captain Miller's words are wise. Humanity has shown both strength and restraint, a rare combination in our experience." Miller bowed slightly. "Earth is ready to join the Council, share our innovations, and help build a more stable galaxy. But first, we need guarantees. No more invasion plans, no more threats. We'll be watching." The chamber erupted in debate again, but now the tone was different. Instead of fear and anger, there was respect. Humanity had outmaneuvered their would-be conquerors not just with technology, but with wisdom. As the council began drafting new treaties, Miller caught Anna's eye and nodded slightly. Phase 1 of Earth's emergence was complete. They had turned a potential war into a chance for peace. But Thunder of Terra stayed in orbit, its presence a quiet reminder. Humanity came in peace, but they were ready for anything else. 1 month after the dramatic council session, Thunder of Terra stood guard over Earth as representatives from 50 alien species gathered in the newly built Galactic Embassy in New York. The massive ship's silhouette against the moon had become a symbol of humanity's rise to power, not through conquest, but through innovation and principle. Captain Miller adjusted his dress uniform as he prepared to address the gathered delegates. Lieutenant Anna West and Chief Hayes stood nearby, also in formal dress. Through the embassy's windows, they could see crowds of humans and aliens mingling in the streets below, celebrating the new age of cooperation. "Ready, sir?" Anna asked, holding the final draft of the treaty. Miller nodded, his expression thoughtful. "A month ago, they wanted to invade us. Now they're here to sign partnership agreements. Funny how things work out." The main hall of the embassy was a marvel of human and alien engineering. Holographic displays showed Thunder of Terra's public achievements, while diplomatic teams from Earth and various alien civilizations discussed technology sharing agreements. Captain Miller called a familiar voice. The crystalline form of the council leader approached, colors shifting in what humans had learned was their version of a smile. "Your ship's design teams have been most helpful. The gravity manipulation principles alone will revolutionize space travel." "We're happy to share non-military advances," Miller replied diplomatically. The defensive capabilities of Thunder of Terra remained Earth's secret, though several nations had already figured out pieces of the puzzle. The Crimson Dominion, stripped of their council seat after the exposure of their invasion plans, had withdrawn to their territory. Their once mighty fleet now stayed well away from Earth's space, their dreams of conquest shattered by a single human vessel. Chief Hayes checked his tablet. "Sir, the knowledge exchange programs are exceeding expectations. Turns out our primitive approach to physics is opening up whole new areas of research for their scientists." That was the real victory. While alien civilizations had chased increasingly exotic technologies, humanity's focus on mastering fundamental forces had created innovations they'd never imagined. Now that knowledge was helping build bridges between species. "It's time," Anna announced as delegates took their seats. Miller walked to the podium, looking out over the assembled representatives of galactic civilization. Humans and aliens, former enemies and new allies, all gathered to formalize a new balance of power. 1 year ago, he began, Earth was considered a primitive world, barely worth noticing. We knew we had to change that perception, but we wanted to do it right. Thunder of Terra wasn't built to conquer or dominate. It was built to protect and preserve. Holographic images showed the ship defending the trading post, helping rebuild damaged stations, and conducting joint exercises with former adversaries. Today, we sign more than treaties. We sign a commitment to a different way of thinking. Earth joins the galactic community not as conquerors or servants, but as partners. Our technology, born from simple principles pushed to their limits, reminds us that sometimes the best solutions are the ones we overlook. The council leader stepped forward, their crystalline form radiating approval. Humanity has taught us much, not just about technology, but about perception. We saw them as primitive because they did things differently. Now we understand that innovation comes in many forms. As the treaties were signed, Thunder of Terra's crew watched from their stations in orbit. The ship that had shocked the galaxy had become a symbol of positive change. Message from Admiral Reed. "Sir," communications reported to Miller after the ceremony. "They've approved construction of 2 more vessels of our class. Names are already chosen: Lightning of Hope and Thunder of Peace." Miller smiled. "Perfect names. But let's hope we never need to use them for anything but showing the flag." As the sun set over New York, Thunder of Terra's silhouette reminded everyone of the lesson humanity had taught the galaxy. True strength lies not in the weapons you build, but in how you choose to use them. The Age of Thunder had begun, and with it, a new chapter in galactic history, where innovation, wisdom, and courage would shape the future of all species.